We open this space in light and truth beyond the global star. We seek the secret giver who walked among the people. We're going to pass the headlines to find the true heart of the Lioness. May this reading honor her spirit. Let's begin. Hi, Soul Seekers. Welcome to the channel. My name is Kerry Ann. I'm here to tap into Amy Winehouse. This is going to be a little bit of a different reading. This is talking... we're going to hit some stuff that is well known, but not quite make the full headlines. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the facts to the question. And here we go. So Amy's grandmother, and I cannot pronounce her name, Silva. Right, so we'll just say Amy's grandmother was a spiritual medium, allegedly. Yeah, she was Amy's icon and the person who personally taught Amy how to read the tarot cards. With Amy, when Amy lost her grandmother in 2006, she lost her spiritual anchor, or did she? Did she? Now, there's a few things that I noticed. Amy, apparently she used to carry her cards everywhere, her deck. And I was like, what deck did she use? I would have want, as a tarot reader, we're nosy like that. We're curious. And when I was watching the Blake thing, I seen the Three of Swords on his hand. Now, Three of Swords in the tarot deck is about heartache, loss, vulnerability, separation. It's not a nice card to have, but so it was on his hand. So I did wonder, did Amy use the Rider-Waite deck? Because there was, back then, there was other decks out. It's not like it is today. And I'm waffling again, sorry. So, as I'm shuffling the cards, how did Amy use the tarot for personal use? How did Amy use tarot for personal use? I know that she did readings for her friends, which they said, some of her friends said she was very accurate, although there was others saying that she didn't believe she had the qualities like her nan did. So how did she use the tarot? Eight of Pentacles. She built her skill, which is quite common for a tarot reader. She's built her skill for her skill up, right? So it was a long practice, which as tarot readers, it is a long practice. The more you do the tarot, the more you do the spreads, the more you learn. She used her intuition very deeply. Also, she was connected empathically to her deck, okay? She also was very creative with the way she expressed herself when she was given readings, yeah? Sometimes she felt she was going on empty. So I think she used it when she needed a bit more guidance, especially around her career, or when she felt quite trapped, okay, so she could take a bit more of a lead of where she wanted to go. So she was a very much strong empath by the Ace of Cups, okay. Her skills really improved her qualities as an intuitive there. And yeah, that's quite common, quite commonly known. So her shadow work with the deck. So deception, a slippery slope, hinders trust, honesty fosters connection authentically, transparency and trust. She was fully aware of what people around her would do and the deception, and she would ask for guidance with the tarot around those topics, okay? She didn't quite get down to the limited beliefs stuff, although she was very self-aware. So, but yeah, she tried to engage in those topics. So for her nan, did her nan come through when Amy was using the tarot? Did her nan come through? All right. I'm getting a no. I'm getting a no here. This was made. The path was the tarot deck, not so much her nan. So I'm getting a no there. And why I say that, the Three of Wands is like you're ready to make the next stage, the next move. Okay, you're leaving something behind and you're looking into more of an altered state. So she learned the gift off of her nan, but her nan wasn't coming through her tarot when she used to pull the cards, okay? Allegedly, right? Six of Wands suggests that she was a strong individual, Amy, when it comes to the connection with her cards. Although I would say she did doubt herself a little bit when reading the cards, yeah. But she tried to put a positive spin on the cards when she can. And she did do some reflecting when she did the cards too. So I think she had a real fascinated nature when it came to the cards, which give her a sense of stability. So it was almost like a ritual of hers. That's how I feel these cards are. Okay, so again, it's all allegedly, entertainment purposes only. Interesting. Right, okay, so we'll put those cards to a side. So the next one we're going to do, which I found is interesting, was the Barmaid Spirit. Now, Amy loved the normal life. She would jump behind the bar on the Hawley Arms and made in Brazil, polished glasses and pour pints. She never wanted to be separated from her community. Now, in all honesty, I used to love bar work, you know. It was one of those you get paid for socializing. I absolutely used to love it. And if I wasn't of ill health, I would probably go back to bar work because I used to really enjoy it. Okay, so for the tarot question we're going to ask, what did the normal life of Camia, barmaid, provide for Amy's spirit? What did it provide for her? Because it's not always about the drinking, although, you know, everything is all about Amy's drinking, but it's not always about that. It's about the social setting of feeling belonging and stuff. Six of Swords, we got the Seven of Swords. It did have a negative impact on Amy, but in all, she felt it was her part of her world. It was she felt it was some kind of recovery for her, right? A place, you know, where she felt safe and connected. But the Seven of Swords suggests that there was unfortunate other negative aspects there, which we're fully aware of. I'm trying not to focus too strongly about that, because this is not what it's all about. But I feel like I'm not saying that it completed her, but it was a part of her, it was a part of like a whole with her. It meant a lot to her. Okay. And how did it help with her fame, like managing her fame and stuff to still feel grounded? Because she was, in hindsight, what you've seen was what you got. So feel grounded, okay? Maiden of Wands, okay. She loved the connection. She loved the vibrant of interacting and intermixing. Amy's coming across as a social butterfly from that. She could get defensive with the Seven of Wands here, okay, but she tried to see two sides. So when she was in sound mind, she would look at situations. I see her as a beacon of light to certain people, that they could talk to her and communicate with her, okay? Nine of Pentacles. So she still holded her own strongly. But I see that certain elements there was that she was someone of sound that could give sound advice when she was in the right frame of mind. So she wanted to keep her independence too. She could keep secrets. Again, we've got the self, decept, illusions and secret. Okay. Give me more insight on that. Cool card. Two of Pentacles. That could be where the self-destructed element is. All right, we're going a bit darker here. Okay, she wants to acknowledge that dark era as well. So although she felt connected to the community, felt she could support people and help people. Amy wanted to help people here. There was also this dark other element there that it was an easy distraction for her to take herself away from what was happening. Okay, so she used it as a way of micromanaging her stresses. Yeah, and I am not criticizing her by all means, because on a personal level, I have done this. So yeah, so before you get, if you get like a narky in the comments, no, you got it wrong, right? Okay, this is a spiritual investigation, not necessarily a criticism. Right, okay, so here we go. We're going to go into the next thing. We're going to look into the neighborhood here. I might have to put the cards together. So I'm going to put the cards together and give them a good shuffle. Well, the best I can do anyway. Yeah. Right. Let's give it a big shuffle. Right. Yeah, very interesting. So we're looking at the fact is so she knocked on doors to borrow milk or sugar, leave handwritten notes to her neighbours. How lovely is that? She spent hours talking to the big issue sellers and market boys because she treated everyone as an absolute equal. And So what was the spiritual lesson Amy wanted to teach the world about how we can treat our neighbours and those on the street? So what was the reason behind all this? What was the spiritual? Oh, 2 cards falling out. 8 of Cups. Is there any more? No, there's no more. So the spiritual message would be is there was an element of a lost feeling with Amy, and I think it was just the sense of wanting to belong, having the to belong. So she would do these gestures and that to be a part of something, okay, and where she felt, there was situations where she felt disengaged, and it's kind of like sort of saying the spiritual message is good to get out in the community and mix and mingle and be around people, even if you forget, what's emotionally tying you down or holding you back in life. The only way you're going to get out of that delusion is to get out in the community and be part of the community. Maybe that's what she's what is saying here. Taking action and being forward. To make, there was a sense of like there was a sense of what her wanting to belong in the community and not just being seen as a singer. She wanted to be seen as who she was there. So the lesson for Amy, I would say, is, there was internal struggles going on with Amy regarding the sense that she still didn't feel very much belong to the world. So the spiritual lessons for us is maybe sit with our emotions and figure out what it is that we want, what is holding us back emotionally, that disconnectment, and then taking those actionable steps. And although this is uncomfortable time here, the transformation will be immense, where we can put those small gestures out to the world, okay? So, shadow. Self-sabotage, there you go. Self-sabotage. I should pull these cards first, shouldn't I? Help with the anchoring of it. So the procrastination, negative self-talk, and fear of failure undermine your success. Overcome with resilience. Yeah. So, yes, that was part of her treating everybody as an equal, because we can all, at the end of the day, there's no light without shadow. There's 2 parts of a human being, maybe 3 parts. But there's 2 parts of a human being. We got to face both parts to help us break those barriers that holds us back. Okay. Next one. The 4,000 Secret, the anomalous lioness. In St. Louis, she overheard a stranger couldn't afford a life-saving surgery and paid his 4,000 bill anonymously on the spot shortly before she passed. She took 20,000 worth of her designer clothes to a local charity shop in the bin liners. I see that she was very much of a giver, our Amy. Why was it so important for Amy to keep her biggest acts of kindness a secret from the press? Why was it so important for Amy? What come into my mind then? And there's a Ten of Swords, so it's like an uncomfortable card. But they got enough shit on me. They don't need to know they don't need to know the background of my stuff or what I wanted to give. Okay, that was none of their bloody business. That's what I'm getting in my head, right? Ten of Swords is like end. No, it's a no. That was a boundary for her. Eight of Wands. I was passionate about giving things to people. If I, it's a bit like that. If I got it, you can have it. If I haven't got it, you can't have it. And if I got it, you can have it. Yeah. So she took charge of that, but she's like, it's none of their goddamn bloody business. That's not your business, right? So what does that reveal of her true soul? Well, her true nature soul, I would see that as like, she didn't do it for kicks. She done it because she's seen others people's struggles. Okay, yeah. Look, so she wanted to strengthen their position. Okay, by being that supported network. Yeah, cutting through the crap, you know, that we have to deal with. So what did it reveal from her? It revealed that she was a girl of action when she felt she needed to be. Okay, she would take the responsibility without a doubt and cut through the chain of the bullshit of it all. Right. So, or fact, we've seen it in the movie. I know there's like negative points about the new movie. I get it. But Camden Town ain't burning down. In 2008, she bought brownies and tea to the firemen and cleanup crew after the market fire. What is Amy's message for keeping the Camden Spirit community and care alive today? So what message would she want to bring to the community now? King of Cups. Maiden of... Oh. She's still all about community and protecting younger people and building a strong foundation. So we've got the King of Cups and the Maiden of Pentacles, which is the pages. Okay, so it's like she still wants, even to this day, even to the time that she's passed, whether she's talking to me spiritually or I don't feel her around me, that's for sure. But the impression I'm getting with the tarot is that she still wants to make sure that inspirational community is still there for the younger generation. Okay, that it holds a foundation of security for people here, and it brings in more connections. So she still wants to keep that community spirit alive, very much so. With the Three of Cups, life is about celebration and harnessing our happiness here. But if we work together and build together as a community, and the people that, you know, the older generation shows that to the younger generation, this could be an ongoing long thing that can bring magnitude of positivity into the community. That's how I feel there. Okay. So let's have a look at what needs to be brought to light in the community right now. Resentment. So there's some there's some breakdowns going on in the community at the moment, often festers, causing a desire for revenge, let go of the past to find peace. So she's seeing that there's a divide going on in the community. People are getting too defensive. They need to chill down. That's what I got in my head. They need to chill down. Okay, so she wants to bring this to attention. Yeah, it's just greed. She's talking about greed and self-destruction. She doesn't want that. She wants to bring it together. So there's a divide in the community at the moment that she's not necessarily happy about. Okay, so bringing this message of resilience and bringing, what is important with the 10 of Pentacles to come away from these attitudes that's in the community right now. Okay, so I did touch on the bin liner legacy, giving away her expensive clothes. What does Amy want us to know about the power of letting go and giving what we have to those who need it more? Okay, so this is a message for us. Now, the 5 of Pentacles is about running on empty, having nothing, so it's just like in the Rider-Waite deck is someone who's looking for salvation. Okay, so for her, the point of letting go is letting go of the fact that you haven't got everything in your hands. You've got everything you need at the time, so what no longer works for you, so if we declutter and we give that to people who is in need, it helps the circle of life. It helps others, support others, but also it gets you out of this selfish attitude. Yeah. This is going to help immensely with others who's really struggling. And it's not just that. It's like when someone gives, you tend to give back. Is that what's that film? Oh, what is that bloody film? I can't think of it. It's on the top of my tongue. I can't remember it. If you remember it, but basically the whole purpose of that film was, if we give to one person, that person will give to another, and then there'll be like a ripple effect emotion going on, which it gives people their power back. It gives people a kind of sense of power, takes away the stresses, and it gives more clarity here. So she's saying it's so important to help others and support others but by doing that, you're helping yourself too. Yeah, it builds that it builds on that found connection that we're losing as human beings. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to leave that on that one. Got a bit of head stuff going on here. Right, the living legacy. While Amy didn't live to see it, unfortunately, the Amy Winehouse Foundation used her music and her memory to open Amy's Place in 2016. It dedicated a safe house for young women recovery, the kind of protected space that Amy herself was always searching for. So how does Amy feel about the safe house today? How does she feel about that legacy that was given to her? Knight of Wands. Oh, she's very passionate about it. Very passionate about it. There, you know, when I was talking about the Three of Swords, there you go. There it is. Different interpretation of it, but yeah. So she's very passionate about it. There is some element of sadness with her around the legacy, but more the case of because that memory of the past for her is painful, yeah. Where she felt very confused and stuck. How do you feel it helps and supports others? Oh wow, that's really super cool. So we've got the Three of Wands. So it helps them to put things behind them that they can learn about themselves. It gives them an outlook on things where they can see the full picture, which helps them to succeed in life. So she sees that this is a really good thing that's come of it. Although, like I said, she does feel it was it brings a bit of sadness to her on that place. And so the message for her and her, you know, people around her that she loved. So have you got a message for the people around Camden, or just in general, people you love? No. 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 Not necessarily a message, but to say that she's in a better place here. She's overcome she's overcome that element of what has happened to her, and she feels more freer. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. I feel she does do a bit of support around her community, or she is around, which is interesting because we're going to look into that in a bit, but not so much a tarot reading. We're going to look into. I'm going to put. You know, I digged in the archives and I found some factual things. But I'll do that in a minute. Okay. Yeah, she in tunes with people. I wonder with like she's around people in their dreams. Yeah. Especially when they are under a lot of stress or their thing, she comes to them in their dreams. Okay. To try to bring connection, although that's not always easy, because the power struggle they have in their mind. But she is around. She wants to clarify that she is around supporting them. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there. So that was like bits and pieces of like Amy. This is all allegedly entertainment purposes only. That recording date is the wrong date. I forgot to put the date on it. So the date today is the 22nd of 4/26, but it's not going out right now. So it will be going out a bit later on. So you're going to see it in May. I was meant to put the date off, but never mind. Things happen for a reason, don't they? Right, let's get into the facts. If you're still around now, let's get into the facts. Amy's psychic side. Here we go. All right, so we're going to hit a few elements that's depressing, but there we go. The 27 Club obsession, right? I'm going to be a legend, but I won't be here to see it. She had a clear vision of her afterlife frame. So she actually said this to people around her that she, I don't know who she said it to, but she did say it, right? Tara, as her during her final year in St. Louis, she reportedly turned back to her cards frequently to find peace away from the camera. She was using the tools her grandma taught her to try to find a new path. So, yeah, but I feel like she grew, as you've seen when I done the tarot reading. Okay, the guardian angel spirit, right? The present facts, okay? Apparently, right? Staff and residents at the safe house, Amy's place, often describes a feeling of profound calm and protection in the building. Many feel that Amy is the spiritual market of the house, ensuring that the young women there find the safety she lacked. And I believe so too, from what the card said. The next, new artists like Ray and Celeste have often spoke about feeling Amy's blueprint or permission to be authentic. They feel she cleared the path for them spiritually to be the raw and real in a way the industry didn't allow before. There you go. So even now in even in spirit, Amy still tries to support and help people. So these facts remind us that Amy's spirit still guides and protects. As we close, we give thanks for her legacy and the path she cleared for us all. May you all find your own compass and walk your truth. We leave this space in peace and light. Amen. And I am going to be doing some more videos of Amy because I want to and I feel pulled to do so. So keep an eye out over the next months. Yeah, because I will be putting them out on additional things. This is her 20th anniversary celebration of her music industry and stuff, and I want to touch not just on what the tabloids are and what is out there. I want to connect to the actual Amy Winehouse and her legacy and her as a person that we may have seen, but we were kind of newspaper articles and that, the negative sides. We want to bring in the other side to it. I think Amy deserves that. Anyway, take care, lots of love, and I'll see you on the other side.